Alrighty, so today we're going to be looking at finding the length of a shorter side. We're going to continue working on Pythagoras to do this. So given a triangle, just draw a little sketch here. If I give you, say this side being 10 here, this side being 8, and the x, the unknown, down here. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to approach it? Well, firstly, looking at what we've got, we've been given here one side, two sides, and we're looking for our third side in here. So we're connecting 1, 2, 3 sides connected, right angle triangle, 3 sides connected, right angle triangle means Pythagoras Theorem. So in case you've forgotten, you should have it thoroughly memorized at this stage. Pythagoras Theorem says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, I'm just going to apply this in this scenario. Okay, always Pythagoras Theorem, 3 sides on a right angled triangle. Looking at what side's what, we've got our right angle here. So opposite our right angle is this side of 10 here. Opposite the right angle, we call this side the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse always had the letter C. Okay, we've got our C in here. The other two sides, if you recall, don't matter so much, so we're just going to call them A and B. So we're going to say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So applying this in this scenario, a here, a is 8. So we've got 8 squared. B squared, well b here is x. So b is going to be just x squared in there. C is 10. So 10 squared in there. I would always recommend, given your question, 8, 10, and x, writing out a, b, and c. It will make your question a lot easier. Then write the theorem out. Just substitute in a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is this one here, a and b. Substitute in. A is 8, b is x, c is 10. Working this through, 8 squared I can put into my calculator or in my head. 8 times 8 is 8 squared. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus x squared here, that hasn't changed. 10 squared, 10 by 10 is 100. From here, solving this, we're going to try and get the x squared by itself. So 64 here is going to go. I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides. Subtracting 64 from both sides, they will cancel. X squared then will be 100 minus 64. Calculate that if you need to. That will get you 36. Like our last video now, we have x squared equals something. We want to cancel this squared here, so we are going to square root both sides. Again, squared, square root will cancel. They will undo each other. That leaves me with x equals, and square root 36, if I can't do that in my head, I'll reach for my calculator, put it right in as it appears there, and square root of 36 will get me x is 6. So this length here will be 6. And that will be my answer in there. My question here has no units, so I can leave my answer as just being x equals 6. There's no need for meters, centimeters, because these 8 and 10 don't come with those already. Looking at another question. So what we're going to do, grab ourselves another triangle here. So if I have the length here of 10 and the length here of 26, I'm going to try and find x in there on a right angled triangle. So again, what I'm looking at my question, what am I going to apply? Ask myself, what do I have? What am I trying to connect here? I've got one side here, got another side here. I'm also trying to connect this here. 1, 2, 3 sides. 3 sides, Pythagoras. A good friend, Pythagoras. Crazy Greek mathematician. Pythagoras Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Whenever I know it's a Pythagoras question, write the theorem out. Firstly, working out what c is, what's the hypotenuse. There's my right angle. My c here is going to be 26. A and B, Doesn't matter which one's which. I'm going to go, that's A, that's B there. So given Pythagoras Theorem, just substituting into my theorem here, A will be x here. So ax x squared plus b squared. B is 10. And C here is my hypotenuse. C is 26 squared. Doing a bit of simplifying, x squared is going to stay as x squared. 10 squared is going to be 10 by 10, and 10 by 10 is 100. And 26 squared, I don't know what that is. I'm going to put that into my calculator. And 26 squared comes out as being 676. From here, I've got x squared plus 100 is 676. I'm going to subtract 100 from both sides. They will cancel. And I'll get x squared here is 576. I'm then going to square root both sides to cancel out the squared there. So I'll get squared, square root cancelling, x, square root 576, calculate it out, square root 576 is going to be 24. So x here is 24, and again, watch out for units, so I could easily put centimeters here, which will give me that x would be 24 centimeters. So then you get x is 24, and that's finding the shorter side. So if you label Pythagoras theorem correctly on your triangle, sometimes you will get x on this side. Whenever you do get the x there, you are finding the shorter side. It is different to getting the x over here. That would be if you find the hypotenuse. We're not finding the hypotenuse here. We know the hypotenuse already. We are running through to try and find one of those shorter sides. So the shorter sides, A and B. Over here, we know the hypotenuse there. Run through the working again and see it all comes out nice and clearly for us. Definitely make sure you get some practice on that. I'll just show you the first example again as well. So here, again, you know the hypotenuse here is 10. Run through A and B, the shorter sides, A and B, the shorter sides, x squared. Cancel the 64 out, run through there nicely. That's it for now, and thanks for watching.